Okay, well, it's a late winter afternoon, and Alex and I were out walking in the snow, and now we're back, and Alex is regressing a little bit right there on the playing with his toy. He's a little bit over 4 years old. He was, I don't know, 3.5 years old when I adopted him. And some of you might know, Alex came to me sort of as a handicapped dog. He had broken his leg, he had a cast on, and I played foster parent for about, I think, 5 months. And, he was a real trooper about it. It was hard for him to walk, of course, and it was hard for me to walk him. But, it took a little bit for me to kind of adjust to him and for him to adjust to me. I had gotten used to Chance, my previous dog, who was with me for some 16 years. He was a totally different personality. And of course, he was a lot older, and we got older together, I guess. So we were pretty well matched. And when Alex came in, Alex was pretty feisty, although I think one of the main chores I had as his foster caretaker, foster parent for 5 months, was giving him his meds. And they had him on, I think, 8 different medications. I mean, he was on, of course, painkillers, and but he was also on like anti-anxiety medication, antidepressant medication, some med that he was taking to help him sleep. So he was a pretty drugged up dog, and the big challenge was trying to get all those pills into him, because usually I had to give them to him twice a day, and so that was a lot of pills. That was like 16 to 20 different pills. And I tried different things, and put peanut butter around it, and that worked for a while, but he kind of figured out that there was something going on there. And eventually what I hit on, and even though I'm a vegetarian, I felt I had to do it. I used to buy hot dogs and, cut them up into maybe an inch long, and I used to stick the pill in there, and he would just, he never chews anything, I don't think. So he just kind of sucked it down. That worked pretty much, I think. And anyway, one of the real incentives we had in working with Chance and helping him to get better was helping his leg to mend. And the main issue was that if it didn't mend, they told me that they would have to amputate it. And this is his front right leg. And when Alex came to me, they said, well, it'll take about 3 months, and they would do x-rays, and it just wasn't progressing as quickly as they thought it would. And every now and then it was kind of like, well, we'll see how it goes. If we haven't made any progress, we'll have to consider the amputation. And I was very adamant against that. And um, I know there are dogs who've gone through that and they've done fairly well, but if I could find a way to avoid it, I wanted to make sure that we did what we could. So I kind of, pleaded his case. I said, just give us more time. And that's actually, I think, what we needed. It was a couple more months, and they did the x-ray, and it was mended well enough that they could take the cast off. And poor guy, he got the cast taken off, and he also got neutered at the same time. So it was a pretty rough period for him. But again, he came through it. He's a pretty strong and determined dog, and so that worked out okay. And now it's the problem is that he's a very energetic, very active dog, and I'm not a kid anymore, and so it's sometimes hard to keep up with him. He's also very strong. I don't live in a place where I can just let him go. I mean, there's a main street right in front of the house, and a couple times, I mean, once he pulled on the leash, he actually pulled me down, got loose, and took off. And of course, that was a pretty traumatic experience for me. Although I think he enjoyed himself, and eventually he let me catch up to him. Actually, I think one of the Bowdoin College security guys came around with his car and helped me find him, which I appreciated.